Hey, welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we'll be talking about big goals and how to accomplish them. So this is by request. One of my friends on Instagram, he requested I made a video about this topic. And it's a great subject because, a lot of us do have big goals and visions for our life, but it is very important in how you approach your goals. It is vitally important to break it down a certain way in order to have success and to achieve them. So, what I've found to be helpful when you set a big goal for yourself, there's a couple different things. The first one is to break it into smaller parts. I think this is by far the most important thing you can do. The example that I'll use throughout this video is a couple years ago, I used to self-harm. And it was 1 year later, I saw on my Snap memories that it happened that day 1 year ago. I felt very down to begin with, and then when that happened, I wasn't doing anything. Like hours went by in the day, and I was literally just lying around. I couldn't get myself to get going in the day. And then I was sitting outside. It was like 90 degrees. It was beautiful outside. And I decided that I wanted to do something big in order to get myself out of the rut that I was in. Now, I don't recommend that you just decide to do something big and impulsive and whatever when you're feeling low. That's not the point of this. But what I ended up doing is I ran over 15 miles in about 3 hours in 90-degree weather. And before that point, the most I'd ever run was about 3 miles. So it was brutal. I had to switch clothes halfway in between because my clothes were so wet that they were like falling off because they were heavy. I had to switch pairs of shoes. And keep in mind, zero preparation. I didn't hydrate. I didn't get to sleep the night before. I was hydrated, but not, I wasn't intentionally preparing for this. It was spur of the moment. 40 minutes after I thought about it, I was on the track. So a little crazy, but the way that I was able to achieve that is I went out and I took it one lap at a time. I would get done with the lap and be like, all right, if I could just do this one more. All right, and then once we started to get up, it was like, all right, this 5 laps in. I remember 5 laps in specifically, I started thinking about quitting because it was disgustingly hot out and humid and gross. And I was like, what am I doing? And I was like, I am preparing myself for bigger things. I'm trying to see how far I can push myself. So it's those little mental battles, and I just would tell myself, all right, if I'm, I don't really know much about running. I'm on the curved part of the track. Once I get, I'm just going to sprint the long side, and then I can just jog again. And I would do that every couple times, and then I would say, don't worry about running the entire thing. Just worry about getting to this part of the track. Just finish this lap. Just take the next step even by like lap 36. It was just take the next step. That's all you got to do. You just take the next step. Don't worry about anything else. And I truly believe that's how you accomplish big goals. Like right now, I posted my goals on Instagram. I have an entire vision board for my goals. And one of my goals is on this account to get 1 million views on YouTube in 2021. And I broke it down. Maybe I'll put the picture up here if I know how to do that. My editing sucks. But I broke it down into 5 steps, which I believe it was 1,000 views, 10,000, 100,000, 500,000, 1 million. And then I have next to it date. So because I want to track how long it takes to get to each one. That's the way to make it happen. And then on an even smaller scale, I said the other day I'm going to put out 100 videos in 100 days, first 100 days. And I don't know how long this video is going to be, but in my head I had it every YouTube video has to be 10, 15 minutes or, I gotta have it planned out. And right now that's not the case. And that's the entire point of these first 100 videos is post even when you don't think it's going to be perfect, or, just get in the habit of being consistent, because that's something I need to work on in order to achieve my goals. That's something that I have self-awareness about, and I'm able to work on by putting out videos consistently, whether they're deemed high quality by me or not. I think that self-awareness is also a big part of achieving goals, but I'm not going to go into that too much right now. The first thing, though, if you're going to take anything away from this video, break down your big goals into smaller chunks. If you have a goal that is going to take years, like let's say graduating college, right? Don't put the pressure with a 4.0. Don't put the pressure on yourself to, ace every single test. Like, my goal is to ace every single test in college, and because you're putting so much on yourself, and that weight isn't going to go anywhere until the goal gets done. And some people that works. I think that destroys you. Like, that would eat me up if I had a weight like that I put on myself, because I wouldn't be able to enjoy anything else if I feel so heavy all the time. I want to be able to enjoy life. Achieving goals is nice, but if you're not happy in the process, what are you doing? So I think a healthy way to go about it is, I just need to ace the next test. I just need to do my best in this class. I just need to do this next homework assignment. I just focus on what's right in front of you, because the example that got me into this mindset, I believe one was a video from Will Smith, don't remember the exact words, and then the other was a post on Instagram, and it was this huge staircase, and they said the only way to get to the top is by taking the next step. It's one step at a time. You really can't, you can't, get from the bottom 15 steps up, that's not how it works. Take just the next step. Because if you take just the next step 15 times, you're 15 steps up. I guarantee you'll get there faster than trying to learn how to jump from step 1 to step 15. And you're not going to be able to finish it either. Because if at the beginning of me running, I just decide I'm going to sprint and I'm going to get as much done as possible, I'm not going to be able to finish if I try and rush the process. And that leads me into my next point. Patience. Patience is so important with big goals, because it's not fun, but I know, and this is what I'm going to keep saying. I try to keep relating everything back to what I'm going through, because it's the story that I know. It's what I know. And for me right now, my goal of a million YouTube views, I'm not going to get that in one video, and I'm not trying to, because I want longevity. And if you have a long-term goal like that, to get a million views on YouTube, the goal should not be, how do I make one viral video? The goal should be, how do I learn to post consistently? How do I make high-quality videos? How do I engage with my audience? How do I create a call to action? What do I put in the description? All the details. That's what really matters. Is having patience and breaking down your goals. And then the third one, the last one, and the most important one, probably, I did say, if you're going to take anything away, breaking down your goals, but knowing your why has to be the most important, because even if you do have patience, even if you do break down, all your goals into increments, if there's not a reason as to, there's not purpose behind what you're trying to achieve. I believe Inky Johnson said it, where he said, if your why is not bigger than you, eventually something bigger than you will come in front of you in your path and stop you. That. And his story, where he grew up, he was sleeping on the floor, and he had 8 different, siblings, cousins, family members, whatever, all in the same bed, or essentially his story was he was very poor, and he would train for football. And while he did want to be a professional football player, his why was in order to help his mom and to help his family. And it was bigger than him. It was for his family's health, for their safety, for their well-being. So whenever he would come across obstacles in his path to becoming a professional football player, he was able to push through because he knew his why. And this is what I mentioned earlier. The reason I ran is because I knew I was preparing my mind to be able to handle more difficult times in life, to be able to push through when things are difficult. And it comes full circle because literally I was not going to record anything today, and I was going to end the streak because I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, and then I had to get up at 4 for work, and whatever. And I have Fire Academy in an hour and a half, and it's like I got overwhelmed. But doing stuff like that in the past is what led me to being able to push through and make a video today. So that was my bigger why. That's why I was able to do 50 something laps in 3 hours and 8 minutes with no preparation, all that. So those are the three things. The first one is break down your goals into smaller increments, one step at a time. Second one is patience. Don't try and do everything all at once. There's a process for a reason. Trust the process. Third one, most important one, is know your why. Have purpose behind your passion. Whatever you're trying to pursue, make sure there's purpose behind it. Make sure your why has real meaning. I believe that's why in Fire Academy the other day, we had to introduce ourselves and say, why are we here? And what I said is to serve my community, to challenge myself, and to for pride of belonging, to belong to something that I want to be a part of something bigger than myself. So those are the reasons I gave. Understanding your why is so vitally important. But this is where I'm going to wrap up. I think this is the best video I've recorded so far. I stopped recording vertically. I started recording horizontally so that it actually looks like a YouTube video. That's an improvement. Every video, if it gets that much better, the whole one step at a time thing. So, that's all I got for today. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. That's not a real call to action. I learned better. So if you like this video, let me know down below what was the most valuable tip for you, and then what goals are you trying to pursue in 2021? What are your big goals that you watched this video to you watch this video for? So that's all I got. I appreciate you watching. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll be back on the next one. Hopefully a better YouTuber than I am now.